Have you ever wondered about the inexplicable life of Grigory Rasputin, the Russian mystic who defied death multiple times? Rasputin, a name that sends shivers down the spine and conjures images of a wild-eyed, bearded man with an almost supernatural aura. Born in the frigid wastes of Siberia in the late 19th century, Rasputin's life was shrouded in mystery from the get-go. Even as a child, strange happenings and inexplicable events seemed to follow in his wake, marking him as someone touched by the uncanny. His birthplace, Pokrovskoye, was a small and isolated hamlet where whispers of the supernatural were commonplace, and the line between folklore and reality was often blurred. It was in this environment that Rasputin found his calling. He was drawn to the mystical, the religious, the spiritual. As a youngster, he claimed to have visions, to foresee events before they occurred. Some dismissed these as mere child's play, but others saw something more. As Rasputin grew, so did his reputation. Tales of his prophetic abilities spread like wildfire, catching the attention of both the pious and the curious. His strange allure was impossible to ignore. His eyes, they said, held an otherworldly gleam, as if he could peer into the very soul of a person. And his words held a power that made even the most skeptical listen. But it wasn't just his prophetic abilities that made Rasputin such an enigma. He was a man of contradictions, a paradox wrapped in an enigma. He was a peasant and a prophet, a sinner and a saint, a healer and a harbinger. His life was a tapestry of the ordinary and the extraordinary, woven together in a pattern that defied logic and reason. And so, a seemingly ordinary peasant boy began his extraordinary journey into the realm of the mystic and the supernatural. The tale of Rasputin, my friends, is a tale of intrigue and mystery, of power and prophecy. It's a tale that takes us deep into the heart of the inexplicable and the uncanny. So hold on to your seats, for the journey is just beginning. As Rasputin grew, so did his influence and power, reaching even the highest echelons of Russian society. Born into a peasant family in the Siberian village of Pokrovskoye, Rasputin was far from the opulent palaces of Russia's ruling class. Yet, his journey led him to the heart of St. Petersburg, Russia's glittering capital. Here, he found a society drawn to his spiritual teachings and healing abilities. His reputation as a holy man and mystic spread like wildfire, catching the attention of the most powerful family in the land, the Romanovs. Tsar Nicholas II and his wife, Tsarina Alexandra, were desperate. Their only son, Alexei, suffered from hemophilia, a blood disorder with no known cure. In their darkest hour, they turned to Rasputin. The mystic's presence seemed to ease the young Tsarevich's pain, and his condition miraculously improved. Grateful and relieved, the Tsarina found solace and hope in Rasputin's abilities, inviting him deeper into the royal family's inner circle. But as Rasputin's influence over the royal family grew, so did the suspicion and fear among the Russian nobility. They watched as this peasant, this outsider, infiltrated the heart of their society. His strange behavior and controversial practices became the subject of whispered rumors and wary glances. The nobility was unsettled, their unease growing with every passing day. Rasputin's power was undeniable. His words carried weight, his actions held sway, and his influence was far-reaching. He had the ear of the Tsarina, and through her, the Tsar, he had risen from obscurity to a position of immense influence, a feat that both fascinated and terrified those around him. Rasputin, the peasant-turned-mystic, had the Russian nobility trembling in their boots. But why? Was it merely the fear of the unknown, or was there something darker at play? As we delve deeper into the enigma of Rasputin, we'll uncover the chilling truth behind his rise to power. Behind the scenes, Rasputin was not the saintly figure he appeared to be. This charismatic mystic, revered for his supposed healing abilities, had a side to him that was shrouded in shadows and whispers of scandal. Rasputin's personal life was a tapestry woven with threads of debauchery and misconduct. Stories of his excessive drinking and alleged sexual exploits were rife, painting a stark contrast to the saintly image he projected. These tales were further fueled by his purported affiliation with a religious sect known for its peculiar and terrifying rituals. This sect, often referred to as the Klists, was notorious for its unorthodox practices. It was believed that they engaged in ritualistic nocturnal gatherings that were a blend of religious fervor and hedonistic revelry. They would dance themselves into a state of ecstasy, believing that through these rituals, they could attain a direct connection with God. Rasputin's association with this group, whether true or not, added an unsettling layer to his already enigmatic persona. There were also whispers of Rasputin's alleged manipulative tactics. It was said that he would use his spiritual influence to exploit the vulnerable, often for his personal gain. His ability to charm and manipulate was as much a part of his mystique as his supposed healing powers. His dark reputation was further solidified by his supposed invulnerability to harm. Tales of his resilience to attempts on his life added an almost supernatural quality to his persona. This, coupled with his alleged misconduct, painted a picture of a man who was as feared as he was revered. Despite the controversy and the scandal, Rasputin remained a figure of significant influence. His charm, charisma, and alleged supernatural abilities ensured he maintained a hold over those who crossed his path. Yet, it is important to remember that beneath the surface of this mystic healer, there existed a man of complex and dark passions. The mystic who could heal was also a man of dark passions and even darker secrets. His life was a paradox, a merging of the sacred and the profane, the divine and the devilish. This was the dark side of Rasputin. Rasputin's end was as mysterious and horrifying as his life. As we delve into the final chapter of this Russian mystic's tale, we encounter a series of chilling events that seem to defy the very fabric of reality. Rasputin's enemies were desperate to end his influence over the Russian royal family, but the mystic proved to be a formidable adversary. The first attempt on his life was as audacious as it was gruesome. His enemies tried to poison him, slipping enough cyanide into his food and wine to kill several men. Yet, Rasputin continued his meal, seemingly unaffected by the deadly toxin coursing through his veins. It was as if he possessed some supernatural resistance, a horror that left his would-be assassins baffled and terrified. But they were not deterred. When poison failed, they resorted to more brutal methods. Rasputin was shot, not once, but 3 times. He was hit in the chest, the stomach, and finally, a point-blank shot to the forehead. Yet each bullet seemed only to invigorate him, as Rasputin fought back with a fierce strength that seemed inhuman. His survival was a dark miracle that only deepened the fear and mystery surrounding him. In a final, desperate bid to end Rasputin's life, his enemies turned to the icy Neva River. They bound Rasputin, still breathing despite his injuries, and cast him into the freezing depths. The water should have been a certain death, but when his body was found, there were signs that Rasputin had tried to claw his way out from under the ice. Even in the face of such a gruesome death, Rasputin had fought on. The death of Rasputin is a chilling tale of a man who seemed to defy death itself, time and again. It's a story that sends shivers down the spine, a testament to the horrifying and enigmatic figure that was Rasputin. Even in death, Rasputin remained an enigma, a man who seemed to defy the very laws of nature. But did Rasputin truly meet his end that fateful night? It's a question that has echoed through time, resonating with the chilling mystery that shrouds the life and death of Rasputin, the Russian mystic. For many, the story ends on a cold December night in 1916, with Rasputin's lifeless body found in the icy waters of the Neva River. But for others, the tale takes an even darker turn, spiraling into a labyrinth of rumors and conspiracy theories. The spark that ignited these theories was the discovery of Rasputin's daughter Maria in America. Maria Rasputina, a circus performer who had fled the Bolshevik Revolution, claimed that her father had not died that night. Instead, she alleged, he had escaped his would-be assassins, living in hiding and continuing his mysterious practices. Maria's claims stirred the pot of speculation, adding fuel to the fires of intrigue surrounding her father's fate. Yet, they remained just that, claims. Without concrete evidence to back her story, Maria's words were met with skepticism. But they succeeded in sowing the seeds of doubt, casting a shadow of uncertainty over Rasputin's death. While some dismiss these theories as mere folktales, others are not so quick to write them off. The lack of definitive proof leaves the door open to possibility, allowing the enigma of Rasputin to endure. Did he really drown in the Neva River? Or did he cheat death once again, just as he had purportedly done so many times before. The world may never have a clear answer. The truth, it seems, is as elusive as the man himself. Yet this unresolved mystery only adds to the allure of Rasputin's story, making it all the more captivating. Rasputin, the Russian mystic, continues to haunt us from the grave. Did he really die? Or is he still out there, lurking in the shadows? The world may never know.